Good morning and welcome to PortAventura World here in Salou, Spain for a bit of a last minute trip to one of my favourite theme parks in Europe. It's got some fantastic rides here spread across 2 different parks and of course home to Shambhala, one of my favourite ever roller coasters. Look forward to getting back on that, and this was a very last minute trip. It's a solo trip. In fact, I only booked the flights for this just over 48 hours ago. I saw some ridiculously cheap flights from my local airports, which is East Midlands back in the UK. It was £9.99 coming out here and £14.99 going back. So I thought for that price, and with it being the local airport, it's only 25 minutes away from where I live. I'm going to get straight back out here and come and visit PortAventura and get back on some of those rides. Of course, I also managed to get a really cheap hotel from booking.com. That cost me about 60 quid. So all in all, it's less than £100 for this trip out here to PortAventura. Going to be spending a few days here. Also, when you've got a Blackpool Pleasure Beach season pass back in the UK, you do get 1 free day with that here at PortAventura. I've got one of those. I've also got a Europa Park annual pass from Europa Park in Germany, where you also get a free day at PortAventura. And then for my 3rd day, I'll probably just buy a 1-day ticket and I'll be going into Ferrari Land. So there you go, a bit of an idea on how cheap I've managed to get this trip. Of course, always look out there. Flew out here with Ryanair, bargain last minute trip. And yeah, looking forward to trying out the new ride in PortAventura Park as well. Of course, PortAventura have opened their first proper dark ride really in the main park, and I'm looking forward to that. It's Sesame Street Street Mission, so a bit of a funny name. I'm not too keen on that, but there we go. The ride looks good. It's an interactive dark ride. It uses a mix of theming and screens, so we'll check out that later today in this vlog. And yeah, so much more. I've got a new coaster credit to get as well when I go into Ferrari Land in a couple of days time. Junior Red Falls, it wasn't ready when I was here last April, and there's a few new family rides there to check out as well. So anyway, without further ado, it shouldn't be too busy today. It's a 10 till 7 park day. It's already really warm. It's already 21 degrees. So it's going to be a hot day, riding coasters in the sunshine here at PortAventura. Let's go for it. Oh, it's always great to get back inside PortAventura Park. I do love all these Mediterranean buildings around the entrance. And then of course, Furious Baco. That's just sent a test train just there. Fantastic views, aren't they, as well, with the lagoon just here. Hurricane Condor, the Interbin drop tower off to the left. Shambhala over there in the background. The B&M Hypercoaster that opened on my birthday, the 12th of May. But it opened in 2012, not 1993 when I was born. But there you go. So in terms of the ticket situation there, nice and easy to do. What they actually do is photocopy your pass just to make sure you're only using it for 1 day and put you on like a system. If you are doing that, what I just said in terms of bringing over a Blackpool Pleasure Beach pass, I think they do it for a few other parks as well. Like I say, I've got Europa Park for tomorrow. But yeah, if you are doing that, head to guest services, which is just to the right hand side of the entrance turnstiles. You don't want to be queuing up where everybody else does to buy tickets. That's a lot bigger queue. You want to be going straight to guest services, and that's where they do it for you. But yeah, it's lovely around here. I do love all the buildings, and I remember when I first came walking around here and just falling in love with the park. All the plant pots and everything around the side. Really nice, all that Mediterranean music. But yeah, if you're not here right for the opening, I mean, it's not open yet in terms of, it's not 10 o'clock, but in terms of when they open the gates on a morning, which is about sort of 9:15-ish, they tend to open the big blue gates up to the entrance plaza. If you're not here for then, you don't really want to be doing Furious Baco first, because you end up at the back of a very, very long queue line for Furious Baco. So yeah, I'll probably come back and do that later on. Well worth doing if you're here right at the start. But yeah, you better coming back to it a little later, because it's the first ride you get to. Everybody goes straight in that queue line. So yeah, there's quite a few groups coming in today, so it might not be quite as quiet as I originally thought. But you can't complain, can you? It's cost me £9.99 to get here, cheap hotel, and yeah, free park entry with those season passes. So yeah, we'll leave Baco for now. Come back to that later on. Welcome to PortAventura. It's always nice to be back. It's one of the nicest entrances to a park, and I really think Furious Baco complements it, especially with this massive section here while it comes over the lake. It's lovely. Shame it doesn't ride quite as well. You just seen a bit of footage there of quite a few crowds making their way through Polynesia up to the new Sesame Street dark ride. So I thought I'm not going to follow the crowds and go there first. I'm not going to go to Furious Baco, as that's that first coaster what you see at the entrance to the park. I thought, no, I'm going to go to the back of the park and make my way over to Shambhala. Yes! Great to be back at my number 2 coaster. Now the 3rd tallest roller coaster in Europe. Of course, they beat their own record here and built Red Force a couple of years back. And then last year, Hyperion opened at Energylandia in Poland that also smashed Shambhala's height record. Tell you what, they've turned the music up a bit around here. It's really good, builds up the atmosphere. Unfortunately, PortAventura is one of those parks that has some staggered openings. We've got Curse of the Staggered Opening that's returned for 2019. So Shambhala, even though it's the signature ride here, it's not actually opening until 10:30. But I thought I'm going to come away from all the crowds, hopefully get on one of the first trains of Shambhala, and then as long as that single rider queue's open, be straight back round there and do a few single riders on it. So nice and quiet around this area at the moment. Like I say, everybody just gets distracted down at the front part of the park. So yeah, as much as I don't agree with staggered openings, it gives me a bit of a chance to get up here ready for when Shambhala opens. So that's good. Here we are then, we've just left the station and we're starting to climb the lift hill on Shambhala. Yes! Sun's just gone in a little bit now, but not too bad on the old operations there. First train of the day. Unfortunately, it is on one train, but they did get it out reasonably quick. And yeah, they've opened it about 5 minutes earlier. It's only 25 past 10, so can't complain. Hopefully, it will be on 2 trains later on. The member of staff that I know on here wasn't on this morning, so I would have asked him, but might see him later on. He's worked here for a very long time. And off we go. Oh, wow. Woohoo! Shambhala! Oh, wow. Love that view of the park and into the water splash. Oh, it's always great to get back on this beauty. Oh yes, Shambhala, that was beautiful. What a start to the day. What a fantastic start to the day here at PortAventura. Honestly, it's a great ride. World class, I love it so much. It is always great to get back on that absolutely awesome coaster here at PortAventura. Look at it go, what a beauty, honestly. It's just the whole area around it as well that really makes it. And I've not just had one go on Shambhala, I've not had 2, I've had 3 rides, because I went straight back round in the single rider queue twice. That only had like 2 people in front of me, so yeah, really good operation. I think 4 trains have gone out today, and yeah, I've been on 3 of them. In terms of being on one train at the moment, of course that isn't great. I mean, you know my thoughts on that. I've mentioned that here at PortAventura before. Operations aren't the best in this park, but don't get me wrong, it's got some fantastic rides. Don't let that put you off. Hoping that later on it is on 2 trains, because I've come back round now and a lot of people have made their way up into the main queue. I'd say on 1 train now we're probably looking at 40 to 50 minutes for that, so it needs to be on 2 trains. In my opinion, a hyper coaster, a ride of this scale, definitely should always be on at least 2 trains. Used to run 3. I believe it still does sometimes in the summer. I know someone came last summer on the 12 o'clock closes and it was running 3 trains, but yeah, them days sadly are very limited now, but at least 2 trains is needed on this coaster. We have 3 rides on Shambhala, a back row, a mid train, and then not the best of seat, quite close to the front. I much prefer it near the back on this ride. And yeah, it's a fantastic coaster. I know there's some people out there that think Shambhala is overrated. Some people think that I've built it up a bit too much, but you've got to remember, we all have our own different things that we like about roller coasters. For me, this just has everything. It's the whole area underneath it, it's the water splash, it's the amount of air time, the views from it, and also the climate plays a big part to it. I like being being out here and riding it in the sunshine, as much as the clouds have sort of covered that up now. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to go straight round, have a ride on Dragon Khan now. This was one of the original rides at the park when it opened in 1995. B&M sit-down coaster. The layout, John Wardley was a big part of as well. So it's a great ride, really good coaster. And yeah, it might not be the smoothest these days, but it still runs really well in my opinion. And it's quite an intense, snappy ride. Of course, Shambhala's not really intense, so to speak. It's more just very floaty and enjoyable, whereas Dragon Khan's a nice intense coaster, so it's good to do them back to back. And you get all the differences, because obviously Shambhala, you get the height and all of the airtime, and then you go on Dragon Khan, you also get a reasonable height. It's still a massive coaster, but you get all the different inversions and other elements that make it a really intense ride. So let's go on. So when you walk around the corner and see Dragon Khan on an advertised 20-minute queue, and then you see that it's running one train, and then you see all of these people waiting, you definitely know that that queue board is lying. You've got to think as well, this coaster, another big ride on one train, and yeah, this at least, what, 40, 50 minutes, could be over an hour. I mean, you've got to think about the amount of express what they let in at PortAventura as well. This is a big queue, but I'm going to brave it. I'm going to see how long this actually takes, but yeah, this should be on two trains as well. When you go to parks that are even operated by Merlin, you wouldn't see them on one train like this. People complain about Merlin's operations, but would you see a coaster of this size running on one train? I don't think you would, definitely not. Not from what we've seen this year at Alton Towers and Thorpe Park, that have both had reasonable operations this year, in my opinion. They look amazing compared to this. They look like Europa Park's operations. Of course, they'd be running 3 trains on this if they owned the park. But yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? But I'm going to brave it. I'm going to see how long this queue is for Dragon Khan. Here we are then, climbing the lift on Dragon Khan. Waited about 40 minutes. Luckily, they added a second train onto the circuit, as it would have took a long time, way over an hour. Oh, Shammy B. So I'm on row 4. Bit of a mid-train ride, really. Go on Dragon Khan. Sun's back out again. Can't make its mind up this morning. Woo! Whoa! Through that mid-course into the second loop. Woo! Interlocking corkscrews. Woo! Oh, there we go. Nice ride down Dragon Khan, nice and intense. Not rough at all, actually. It was a really, really good ride. Enjoyed that. Good old DK, but yeah, at least they put it on 2 trains. A great ride there on Dragon Khan, and like I said at the start of the clip when we were just going up the lift hill, good to see they put it on 2 trains. They really needed to, and luckily didn't have to wait too long for that. But yeah, in terms of operations, Shambhala is now on 2 trains as well. Just noticed that one was coming down the exit to Dragon Khan, so that's good to see. Shame they can't get them on 2 trains from the start of the day, but there you go. It's one of those things, isn't it? PortAventura have always been a bit like that with operations, but it's just such a beautiful park. I mean, you look at the view behind me just there. That skyline line is amazing with Shambhala and Dragon Khan. The whole China themed area of the park is gorgeous, and I really struggle to pick a favourite themed area of PortAventura because they're all really, really nice. I mean, I like Wild West themes, so Far West is one of the standouts, but then I think about all the other areas. Polynesia is great with all the trees, all that landscaping. I'd love to see a major coaster in that area though. Mediterranean is lovely with all the buildings and Furious Baco over the lake. I don't know, it's really tough, isn't it? And then not forgetting you've got Mexico, that's great. The China area is great where I'm in. SesamoAventura, the whole park looks really, really nice. And I just fell in love with it when I first came. And as much as I wish the operations were right up here, I wish they were top of the game. They're not, unfortunately, which does sort of make me rank this park a little bit less than I used to. But don't get me wrong, it's still great to come out here. And like I said earlier, don't let it put you off. In terms of staggered openings, I've just seen on the boards, Hurricane Condor and Stampeder don't open until 11:30 at the moment. But El Diablo, hey, Train de la Mina, is open. So let's go for a ride on this family Arrow mine train. Let's go. So waited about 15 minutes for El Diablo. What's quite surprising is that this was actually one of 2 roller coasters that opened at PortAventura when it opened in 1995. Crazy, isn't it? The only coasters here was this, of course built by Aerodynamics, and also Dragon Khan. All the other rides came afterwards. Oh, Red Force has just gone round over there. Up that first lift hill of 3. On El Diablo, yeah, and straight down. Not really much of a first drop on this one, but it interacts quite nicely with the log flume. Whee! There we are, straight round into lift hill number 2. You get some great views though from this lift hill. Oh, train carriage down there having a bit of maintenance. Great view over there of Shambhala, Dragon Khan. Here we are, round 2, and you know what the best thing about this drop is? We go straight down into a trim brake. Yeah, get ready for the trim. Here it comes. Now. That's the funny thing about that one. The trim brake into another lift hill. You have got to love the funny design of this ride. It's quite amusing. Hurricane Condor over there, that should have just opened a few minutes ago, so head round there next. Also Stampeder, like I say, that's a 11:30 opening. This was an 11 o'clock opening. So many staggers, it's such a shame really. Don't really like parks that do staggered openings at all. Down we go. This is quite a nice drop actually, with a really good near miss element. Woo! There we are, round into the brakes. Yeah, I wouldn't want to wait any more than 15 minutes for that. El Diablo. towards the back of the train there on El Diablo as well, so it's much better when you're a bit further back on that ride. You really just get that pull over when you go down some of the drops. Not like there's any massive steep drops on that, but it makes it a good family coaster, doesn't it? It's one of those that, you know, they've got a lot of big thrill rides here, so it's nice that they've still got a nice family coaster. To be honest, the next coaster what goes into this park, I think should be a major family coaster. I think it'll work really good for PortAventura. They've got these massive rides. It'd be nice for them to build something a bit like 13 style. Imagine it going all around the Polynesia themed area. I think it would work really well. But anyway, after that ride, I've made my way around into Mexico. You just see a nice shot as well of when you walk into this area. Looks a lot better when the sun's shining, but when you've got all the palm trees, and then of course Hurricane Condor, this huge intermittent drop tower that opened in 2005, just coming out of the ground. It is crazy. But yeah, it's advertised a 20-minute wait. Good thing about this ride, it does have a single rider queue, so it's not that well advertised, to be honest, but when you make your way around there, you've got the queue that runs round to the left and then that single rider to the right hand side, so hopefully it won't be too busy there, and yeah, might even get a couple of goes on it. Let's go and see. Here we are then, climbing up on Hurricane Condor, on sit down this time, but luckily there was no queue at all for that single rider queue, so I'll be having a few rides on this. It's one of my favourite sides of the sit down because obviously you do get that awesome view over towards Shambhala and Dragon Khan. Wow, and up we go. Oh, there's the train running down there as well. Obviously everything looks miniature when you're up here. There we are at 100 metres, ready to drop at around 71 miles an hour. Here we go. Whoa! Oh, it gets rattling now, doesn't it? Straight back round then on Tower 5 this time. It's another sit down one, unfortunately. There's two stand-ups. I was so close to getting on it just, but there was one other single rider just in front of me who got it. I'll keep going though until I get a stand-up. That's the worst thing about this. There's no separate queues for the sit down and the stand-up. Obviously that's the good thing. That's the good thing about Apocalypse at Drayton Manor. So obviously with there you get to queue for which side you want. Yeah, slightly different view. You can see Templo del Fuego, the Temple of Fire, which is an attraction that's only open in the summer. Oh, look at Yucatan down there as well. That's in bits. Look at that. That's interesting. Completely stripped that. Obviously a bit of extended maintenance. Yeah, slightly different view. That's all the staff car park. Oh, the tilting seats are working on here. Wow. So we're on sit down with the tilting seats. On we go. Oh, that was good. They've not worked for a while. So I've just been round on Hurricane Condor 5 times in that single rider queue in less than 20 minutes though, so that's not bad going. I can't believe it, it's just my luck. Every time I went on, I was on sit down. Good to see though that on Tower 5 you've got the sit down with the tilting seats. That's not been working for a few years when I visited, so yeah, really quite pleased with that. But I can't believe it, yeah, stand up, there's 2 stand up towers like I say. I didn't get that out of 5 rides. Just goes to show how random it is, isn't it? And also as well, if you are in the main queue and you do want to do stand up or sit down, they don't let you request it either, unless you get a really nice member of staff on there who might let you sometimes, but it's not in the rules that they have to let you, you know, so it's one of those, isn't it? It's kind of sit where you put on that ride. But yeah, I can't believe it. Out of 5 rides, I didn't get one of the stand-up towers, but at least all 5 towers are in action. That's a good sign. That main queue's no more than 20 minutes. We've got a bit of random entertainment over here. That's the good thing with PortAventura. They might not know how to operate the rides properly, however, they've got some really good entertainment throughout the park. It just creates quite a nice vibe, doesn't it? I've just looked over at Yucatan, and yeah, as I saw from over on the ride, it's just got a big fence round it, and the whole thing's been completely deconstructed at the moment. So yeah, I assume it's been off since the start of the season. Hopefully they'll have that back open soon. It's quite a nice little flat ride for this area. We go then on Tomahawk. This opened in 1997, along with Stampeder, all built by Custom Coasters International. However, back in 2015, GCI put some new trains on this. Millennium Flyer trains, much better since. And I'm on the back row, so let's go. Woohoo! Bit of retracking works took place there. There we go, Tomahawk. Hey. This is something that I have always loved about PortAventura. You come off a ride and then you're just greeted by something like this, just random bits of entertainment going around. Really? Woody Woodpecker on the back there with his Indian hat on. Just love all the random stuff like that. The great entertainment at this park just really makes it. Just have a little look at the Stampeder queue, quite big at the moment. They're advertising it as 40 minutes, but I think from my experience that's over an hour. So I'm going to give that a miss and get some food. We'll have a bit of Sean's food review, shall we? Going to head back down to Mediterranean, the entrance area to the park, have some food, and then try and catch Furious Baco at a bit of a quieter time. Now it's been a couple of hours into the day, people have made their way into the park. It's normally quite a good time to go and do it. Yeah, Tomahawk running really well. Only waited 10 minutes there, it was on 2 trains, so that was quite efficient actually. For 2 staff on there, you know, they were soon getting it out. Bear in mind the operator has to go and check all of the restraints as well before she goes back into the op cabin. Yeah, that was reasonable operations, that, very good. Random entertainment, love it. Never seen them horses before though, it's quite nice. Well, the sun's come back out now, which is really nice, just for sitting here in Mediterranean and having my lunch. So what have I got? This meal I'm going to show you now cost me €10.70, so it's not the cheapest of food. I wouldn't say it's too overpriced either. It's just reasonable for what we've got. So obviously got this nice large Coke just here, got a nice Oscar Mayer large hot dog just there, and some fries as well. Hot dog dry only, of course, no sauce for me, but sauce is available if you do want it. You got all sorts of sauces that you can get just from inside. It's quite nice around here for eating because obviously you've got Furious Baco that runs round, the lake just here, and you normally don't struggle for seating round here because it's just like a little beach area. It's quite nice actually. But yeah, the venue where I've just got that from, restaurant's located just behind me there, right next door to the entrance to Furious Baco. But yeah, I'll tuck in and then I'll give you a nice quality review out of 10 after I've ate it. That was some good food there actually. 8.5 out of 10 I'm going to give it. Would have been a 9, maybe even a 9.5. It would have had some more fries and yeah, also if it was a little bit cheaper. But in terms of value, like I say, I don't think it's overly priced here. I'd call it sort of moderate theme park pricing for food. All depends where you eat here, to be honest, at PortAventura. Some of the table service, the sit-down restaurants, it is a lot more expensive, but then you are getting even better quality. But I'd say the quality of that was all right, really. You know, it's it was just decent. 8.5 I'd say. It tasted quite good and a nice large drink. That's just what you need when we've got highs of about 23, 24 this afternoon. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the sun's going to stay out because that's a big part of this park. I like it when the sun's shining. And anyway, I've just had my food, and you know what the perfect ride is to do after you've had something to eat? A nice, calm, relaxing, smooth ride on Furious Baco. What? Let's go. So it is an advertised 50-minute queue, so don't worry, I'm not going straight on after eating. Definitely wouldn't recommend doing that. Yeah, here's the queue. This is what we love here at PortAventura. Nice big cattle pen, yeah. Well, to be fair, it's not too bad, it ends just there. Yeah, I reckon 50 minutes is maybe a little bit over-exaggerated. I don't know, it will be on 2 trains though, Furious Baco. It's a good thing with this, it rarely runs on 1 train. It used to actually run 3 when it opened. Crazy, isn't it? Yeah, well, this isn't too bad. Yeah, that's all right, that. Just enough time to let my hot dog go down. And we'll go for a ride on Furious Baco. Amazing launch on this, just inside there. Here we go, and so it begins, the curse of the Spanish queue jumping. Here we go. This guy here, he's pushing in. That's the one thing you get here at PortAventura, a good old bit of Spanish queue jumping. Oh, there we are, he's off under there, look, it's under the barrier. That's one through. If I was there, I'd have stopped him, you see. Don't agree with queue jumping, you should queue up like everybody else, that's what I say. No, is he coming over as well? Oh, that's it. Pass the bag over. Yeah, he's under. That's 3 queue jumping. Get to the back of the line.
So I waited exactly 30 minutes for Furious Baco. Not too bad, advertised 50. I've got a love-hate relationship with this ride. I do really enjoy it. We just get a little bit rough, depending on where you're sat. Giving it the nickname Furious Back Pain. Oh, uh-oh. Get ready to launch. I'm on the wing. Let's see how it rides today. Woo-hoo-hoo! That wasn't too bad, that was all right. That was not too bad. Towards the front of the train, second row, and I'm okay.
That was an excellent second row ride there on Furious Baco. Only waited half an hour, 2 trains in action, not bad at all. Operations were reasonable on that. They were getting the trains out quite quick. But yeah, like I say, I've got such a love-hate relationship with that ride. Owned here in 2007, and it did change this whole area of the park, this entrance. However, it does work in my opinion. I love the look of it. I really like the theme to the ride, something a little bit different. And like I say, it's a love-hate relationship because that was a really good ride. And then other times you'll go on it and it is a bit unbearable in some seats. I don't know, I love it on the back. Yeah, it rattles you around a lot more, but that launch is absolutely incredible. It really is, and you really feel that speed, just over 80 miles an hour there. I think the fact that the launch as well, it's a cable launch, but it's on a bit of an incline like that, and then you go straight into that bit of an airtime hill, really adds to it. It really makes the ride. And of course the inversion that it's got as well, you swoop along and you really feel like your hands when you got them in the air are going to hit the floor. Absolutely insane. But let me know your thoughts on Furious Baco. Comment down below, love it or hate it, or maybe you are somewhere in the middle. Most people I speak to, a lot of people do say they either love the attraction or they really don't like it. There's not really much sort of mid-ground with it. But yeah, I really enjoy it. And like I say, they were getting the trains out there quite quick. It's been a while since this one's been dispatched though, hasn't it? But in fact, here it comes now actually. I thought I heard some screams. Here she is. Oh, I love it. But yeah, this whole area, it did change it a lot. Some people preferred the entrance without it. Me personally, I really think it added to it all. The only thing I don't like about this entrance to PortAventura is the fact you have to walk past Furious Baco. I always think it would be nice if they built another path sort of on that side of the lake, what connected you into Far West that way, just so it was like a full circle around the lake. But you know, you win some, you lose some, don't you? You can't have absolutely everything. And this park is still really beautiful. All the flowers around it. Yeah, it's a great park. It's just like I say, it's a shame that some of the operations do let it down. But anyway, I'm going back into Far West now to go and hopefully get a ride on Stampeder. Doing quite well actually today. It's 2:30, so not too bad at all considering I've not used fast track. Quite happy with that. Oh, poor Betty Boop, she's not very popular today, look. Nobody wants a photo with her. Give her a wave. Hello. Oh, he blew me a kiss. Oh no, yeah, no one wants a photo with Betty Boop. Crazy. I think everybody just wants to get on those rides. I'm sure every time I come here to PortAventura, the Stampeder entrance sign just keeps getting repainted. Crazy, and it always looks really nice and fresh these days, which is good to see. So yeah, Stampeder opened in 1997, Custom Coasters International. However, quite a lot of the track has actually had a lot of work done to it by Great Coasters International, also known as GCI, and you can see how much work has actually been done by GCI to make this a lot smoother. It looks like even more wood has been replaced. Wow. Yeah, even more's been replaced for this year because it's a good layout. I mean, with the original trains that it used to have, it was a really good coaster. But yeah, because the layout's nice. But like I say, over the years, they replaced the trains quite a few years back now, and it did make it much more rougher. However, you look at, yeah, all this just here that's been replaced. Yeah, they've done quite a bit, and it's certainly nowhere near as bad. They've worked on the banking at the bottom of the first drop when you go round to the right-hand side. They've completely redone all that over the past couple of years. So hopefully, they've done a bit more for this year. Advertised queue time, 40 minutes, but there doesn't seem to be hardly anybody making the way down here. So we'll go and have a look. I think it's running on 4 trains as well, 2 on each side. So yeah, let's choose a colour. What should I go for? Oh yeah, that's definitely not 40 minutes. That's more like 15, 20 minutes. I think we'll do this blue side actually first. So it's blue on this side, red if you follow the path round onto the other side. Let's go. Up we go. It wasn't even 5 minutes wait, that. Really good. Nice swift operations. It always slows down on the lift hill because obviously it has to wait for them other 2 trains to come in. Then we'll soon speed up. There we go. But yeah, can't complain. 5-minute wait. Quite a noisy lift hill. Well, let's go. We'll try red side after. Let's see how Stampeder's running. Oh yes. Go and try red side, shall we? See if that's any 5-minute wait. Hope so. So wait about 20 minutes for red side, so about 3 times as long. Worth it though, let's see what we get. Get ready for the launch. Way! We wish. It'd make a good RMC though, this one. Have a bit of a lightning rod on there, shall we? Hey, right, let's go. Red track. Woo! Hey! Woo-hoo-hoo!
wave at the other train. Airtime, here we go. Woo! There we go, one again, yes. Love it, one on both sides. Good ride there. Good couple of rides on Stampeder. No Stampainer today.
That's not too bad going there actually on Stampeder. Managed to do the red side and the blue side in about half an hour, so not too bad. Of course did blue first, and to be honest that ride is so much more enjoyable. Now they've spent a bit of money on it and done some retracking work. One thing that would really improve it now is their Millennium Flyer trains. They did it on Tomahawk a few years ago. I'd love to see them do that on Stampeder because it's not a bad layout at all. Like I say, John Worley had a big part of that ride as well. So you know, it's one of those where the layout's great, it's just ruined a little bit by its roughness. However, it was running all right today, and considering, you know, it's not too hot either today. I think sometimes when it's absolutely baking, that certainly makes it a lot rougher when the wood gets really hot. But yeah, today, you know, it's reasonable, and I'd say that was one of the smoothest rides I've ever had on it. They've definitely done some more retracking work on that for 2019. You can tell where they replaced part of the wooden bents, as they're called, around the ride. And yeah, it was running really well, very much enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, it's nowhere near one of my favourite wooden coasters, but certainly with its layout and now it's getting a bit smoother, it's certainly a lot better than it used to be. Anyway, yeah, it's about 3:45, so just over 3 hours to go left of the day. I'm going to go and watch one of the big stage shows in just over an hour's time and go and check that out. It's in the huge theatre what they've got that connects between the China area and also Mexico, so I'll go and watch that show and of course share some highlights because you can film the shows here. Along with that as well, I have a few more re-rides on Shambhala, and then later on make my way down into Sesame Street and go and check out Sesame Street Street Mission. There you go. It's nearly as bad as The Walking Dead, the ride, that, isn't it? But yeah, I'll see you in about an hour or so. Going to do a few re-rides on Shambhala now in the sunshine and get my ride count up on there a little bit. The sun is shining this afternoon here at PortAventura, absolutely wonderful, and it's been just over an hour since I last spoke to you all. In that time I've done 2 rides on Shambhala in the single rider queue and also a ride on Dragon Con as well, so not too bad really, 3 rides in just over an hour. Operations are a lot better this afternoon than they were this morning. Honestly, I wasn't impressed at all with this morning's operations, but it has improved. Something that's always fantastic here though at PortAventura is the shows. The entertainment in this park is absolutely fantastic. Ever since 2010, they've been holding huge shows themed around various different things. In the Grand Theatre Imperial, as it's called on this side, you can actually access it here from China and also from Mexico as well, where it's got a different name from that side. Yeah, since 2010, they've put on different shows in here. Before that, there were still some fantastic productions, all based around like China and things, with it being in this area. However, now it's got We Dance Movies, which is a new show for this year. There's been loads in here over the years. Fantastic shows with singing, dancing, acrobats, a really nice variety, and it keeps winning award after award every single year for how good this production is. So the good thing is, filming is permitted in the shows here at PortAventura, so you can get some footage. But here we go, 2019 We Dance Movies here at PortAventura. Let's go and see the show. Movies.
Glorious feeling,
Now, I've known for a long time that PortAventura are more than capable of creating some of the best theme park shows in the world, and what I've just watched there was absolutely incredible. You've just seen some highlights from it. I say highlights because all of it's one big highlight. There's nothing that I would change with that show at all. It was absolutely phenomenal, as you saw there. The amount of acrobats, all the dancing, the singing, the violins, the fire, the pyrotechnics, and lots of new technology that's been brought into that show for this year, including the LED balls that come down from the ceiling. It was quite funny really, because I've never seen that technology before until a few weeks ago when I was at Gardaland in Italy with Martin. when we was there and watched that show, that had those in it, and I thought, oh, I've never seen them before. And then yeah, PortAventura have got them in the big show for this year, so it must be some sort of new technology. Maybe they've only just come out this year, or at least in the past couple of years. But honestly, that was absolutely world class. A brilliant show, one of the best theme park shows I've ever seen. All the different movies that they went through there, the different costume changes, the lighting, the theatre itself, absolutely world class. That show speaks for itself. You don't need me to stand here for 5 minutes telling you how good that was. It was incredible. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed them highlights there. And maybe you do come to this park mainly just for the roller coasters like Shambhala. But honestly, if you are coming here, go and check out the shows, or at least go and watch that. It's absolutely incredible. It's 40 minutes out of your day. The theatre is huge in there, so you don't need to get there too early either. And it's well worth watching. It's a nice little break away from the rides, and it is absolutely world class. I love that so much, and well done to PortAventura for yet another world class show. Anyway, I'm going for another ride on Shambhala, then it'll be the last hour of the day. I'm going to make my way down towards SesamoAventura, ready to check out their new ride for 2019. So yeah, I'll see you down there after I've had another ride on old Shammy B. What a beauty. Seen a variety of off-ride shots from Shambhala. Just managed one ride on it this time. I didn't think I'd have time to go around again in the single rider queue. As like I say, I'm going to make my way into Sesame Street shortly and check out the new dark ride. Just getting that queue line before the queue shuts at 7 o'clock. But yes, I'm in one of my favourite areas now of PortAventura that's actually just turned 5 years old. And that is the area around Angkor, which is the splash battle. In fact, it's the longest splash battle in Europe. And yeah, it looks really good round here. That's the good thing with PortAventura. They are quite good when it comes to looking after their areas and keeping things looking really fresh. All the theming around here, you wouldn't think it was 5 years old. You'd think maybe 2 or 3 years, but definitely not 5. I mean, you look at the wonderful station building over there. It's really nice. I mean, this bridge as well that I'm standing on, of course you get a great view of that Mack Ride splash battle down below, but also these shots of Shambhala that you couldn't get in 2012 when the ride opened. Here's some great views, of course, that 255-foot tall drop that goes straight down into the tunnel, the huge hill just there behind me, not great with the sun there, and of course that awesome turnaround section over there as well. So it just offers some really good views from around on this side, and it means you can get some really nice shots of the coaster. But anyway, I'm going to make my way round into SesamoAventura, and let's go and have a look at this new for 2019 dark ride that I'm very excited to go on. So yes, don't worry, I'm definitely still here at PortAventura. I've not moved over to Gardaland in Italy. However, it does have a very similar area called Fantasy Kingdom, and it looks very similar to SesamoAventura. That opened first. However, this was definitely inspired by that at Gardaland. It's even got this huge tree here in the middle. This is still a lot smaller though than that tree in Fantasy Kingdom. But yeah, you can even walk around it at the top. And another big difference is there's no Vekoma Madhouse underneath. But there you go, check out that vlog from Gardaland if you've not already seen it. But yeah, SesamoAventura opened in 2011, 1 year before Shambhala, the huge B&M hypercoaster. From then on, really, it's been a huge investment in PortAventura with loads of new different rides and attractions. And there's been no other additions, ride-wise anyway, to SesamoAventura since it opened. They've put in a few like different shows and different characters, and they made a few little changes around the area. But in terms of new rides, nothing else has been added until 2019, where they've just built a dark ride, a proper dark ride, which I'm so pleased about, because PortAventura hasn't got a tracked dark ride. All they've got is what at the moment it's called Dino Escape 4D. It's located in that big show building over there, but it used to be known as Sea Odyssey, and it's basically a simulator ride. But yeah, with that, it's still in action, but I wouldn't class it a proper dark ride. It's not a tracked dark ride that this park has needed for a long time. And I know the park, you know, mostly have nice weather throughout the year. However, it's still very important to offer a variety of attractions. So for 2019, they've opened that huge dark ride that we can see over there that is very heavily themed. I mean, we'll move over there a bit closer in just a moment. But as you can see, it's a massive expansion on the area on previously unused land. And the show building is completely themed all the way round. To access it, we need to walk next to the train station, and then we'll see it a bit closer. But I just thought I'd show you it from this perspective as well. The fact they've even thought about how it looks from up here on the tree, all the sight lines and everything. You can't see the show building at all. And to be honest, it looks even better with Shambhala just behind it. It really does. But yeah, before I talk more about the ride and of course go on it for my first ever time, let's have a little closer look over at the expansion to the area. So here we are then at the train station, and this building has been here since 2011. However, it now works as an entrance to this new little area at the back of SesamoAventura, and they've completely painted it a different colour and made a few additions to it as well. But yeah, you cross the train track just here into this lovely new area that looks absolutely stunning. The fact that the show building is themed all the way around, the angle that you saw just was on the wall, which is down that side just there. This is all around the other bit that's themed. And I must say, when you are walking to Angor, the splash battle, where I was a few minutes ago, just in that direction, they've also themed this back part of the show building here. So yeah, it's completely themed from the outside, from all angles that you can see it from inside the park. Obviously, from on Shambhala, that's an exception, but I wouldn't expect them to do that, as long as it looks good from ground level and from the different areas. But yeah, really impressed with this. That's the exit to the attraction there. We've got this new fountain out the middle just here. And of course, that's the entrance to Sesame Street Street Mission. I'm not too keen on the name, I'll be honest. I don't like the fact it's Sesame Street Street Mission. I think it might have just worked better as Sesame Street Mission, maybe, I don't know. But I'm not the designer of these things, am I? I just come here and review them. But yeah, if it was me personally, I would have probably gone for a different name. But in terms of how this area looks, very, very nice. You got a nice themed cue board over there. You got these machines as well for buying fast track. Not a big fan of those because I just don't really like fast track in general, but Express as it's called here. And yeah, we've got a 1 hour, 10-minute queue for this new dark ride at the moment, it seems. But yeah, this is all nicely themed around here. Just over an hour to wait for a new ride. I think that's completely acceptable. I've waited hours before for new rides. But yeah, honestly, this looks really good. I think PortAventura should be really proud because the theme in what they've done here is great. I just hope that continues inside the ride. The ride itself, manufactured by ETF Ride Systems. That's the actual ride vehicles and the transit system. But they've worked with lots of different companies here to put this together. Sally Corporation have been heavily involved in animatronics and putting all the technology together, along with various different companies on the theming and things as well. So lots to it. I'm going to go and join the queue, and yeah, let's go and enjoy Sesame Street Street Mission for the first time. I'm loving these new views of Shambhala, a bit closer as well. Really nice. Let's go and join the queue. pre-show to this ride. I like the fact that you've got an animatronic up high and looks over the whole queue line, and it definitely keeps you entertained whilst you're waiting in here. It looks like it goes off every few minutes, and he does a few different things as well. What he did he actually got like a remote on the screens. That's a good thing, it's like a mix of screens and the animatronic, which is nice. Yeah, he got the remote and then like turned the light off on the fan. He then got a torch and there was an actual light what shined around the room and then on the screen as well. So yeah, quite impressed with that. I'll show you a little bit more footage and then let's get on the ride.
To investigate.
Pero mire qué desastre. ¿Qué ha pasado?
No lo sé, Dios. Seguro que tiene algo que ver con la película.
¡Migas de la tierra! ¡Observad con atención, detectives! He deducido gracias a mis increíbles dotes de investigación que aquí en la tienda de Hopper hay más pistas. ¡Usad vuestros recogedores!
El conde también debería tener uno para su jardín. He pasado por allí y hay migas que la llevan en todas partes.
¡No! ¡Al castillo del conde! ¡Pero antes tenemos que parar en la lavandería! ¡El manchado de cereales es ahora! ¡Detectives, solo tarda un minuto! ¡Voy a limpiarme esta gabardina tan chula! ¡Mientras veo pistas de migas de galletas por ahí delante! ¡Recogedlas! ¡Vamos! ¡Pistas! ¡Cookies! ¡El castillo del conde! ¡Por lo menos tengo la gabardina limpia!
Veo un gran número de migas de galleta en mi puerta.
¡Pistas!
Veo una, ¿cuál miga de galleta? 2, submigas de galleta. 3, soy migas de galleta. Mi murciélago me ha dicho que hay más migas dentro del castillo, más cosas para contar. Entrad, por favor.
Por las pistas esquivas y el murciélago que se esconde, que se abren a la puerta del conde. ¡Qué pistas!
Let's go inside the castle to collect more cookie crumbs.
Veo un taxi descontrolado.
Vaya, vaya, parece que has descubierto dónde estaba la Big Cookie. ¿Oh, sí? ¡Oh, claro, por supuesto que sí! ¡Cookie Monster! ¡Fuiste tú quien se llevó la Big Cookie!
It was you who took the big cookie.
live footage there from the new for 2019 Sesame Street Street Mission here in SesamoAventura at PortAventura. God, that was a mouthful, wasn't it? Honestly, what a fantastic job PA have done with that ride. It's stunning. It's a really good signature family addition to this park, and that I would say is like the staple family ride at PortAventura now, not just in this themed area of SesamoAventura, but the whole park. That is a really good family addition to this park, just what they needed. It works great because if you're here on a really hot day, it's somewhere inside to cool off. If you're here and it does rain, or maybe over winter when it's a bit cooler, again, you've got somewhere to warm up. It's a great addition. It's quite a long ride, as you saw from the footage. It's got a good mix of screens and physical set pieces. I thought there might be a few too many screens, especially with it being an interactive ride where you do wear the 3D glasses, because obviously all the screens are in 3D. But no, like the screens, yeah, of course there's lots of them, but there's a lot of theming to back it up. Lots of animatronics. I lost count of how many animatronics there was. I'll have another go on it whilst I'm out here to see on this trip. But overall, what an absolutely fantastic ride. Really impressed with that. It's a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. To be honest, if I knew it was going to be that good, I'd have come out here for the opening day. Like, that's a really, really good addition to PortAventura. And hopefully it's the start of them maybe adding a few more dark rides. I mean, I know this is their IP in this area, and it's a big family area, so they wanted to put in something like that. But honestly, they've done a really good job with that. A lot of the ceilings and floors are themed as well. It's not like 100% themed on those, but everywhere you look round, what's noticeable has got theming in it, so I really appreciate that. The whole taxis, what you sit in as well, they're really nice. Theme Park Worldwide on YouTube, check it out. All the taxis around the ride are really nice, what they've got. Of course, what you sit in. The movement of those is quite nice as well, from left to right. Yeah, honestly, I think they've just done a cracking job with it. I haven't come off feeling like, oh, I'd improve this, I'd improve that. I just think it's done exactly what they wanted. A good family addition to PortAventura. And finally, a proper tracked dark ride in this park. I say tracked, I know it's trackless, but you know what I mean, a ride what takes you through different scenes instead of just being on one simulator in one room. However, the simulations at the end on them two massive screens were very good. Well, you know, you move around to the side. Again, the camera doesn't really pick that up great, but honestly, brilliant addition. Very impressed with that. And I'll ride it again at some point on the trip, and of course, I'll share my thoughts overall at the end of the day 2 vlog. But yeah, anyway, that is all from PortAventura today. I'm going to make my way back down to Mediterranean, the entrance and exit areas of the park, where I'll summarise the day and wrap up. So I'm back down here in Mediterranean after a nice 10-7 day here at PortAventura. It's been a great day. It started off a little bit iffy with operations. Of course, I got up to Shambhala and saw it on one train, and I thought, oh, here we go. But actually, it's got better and better throughout the day, and operations did improve in the afternoon. It kind of feels like the Spanish operators here just take a little bit of time to get going. You know, like they're a bit tired on a morning, you know, they're trying to get that oomph and get going. And in the afternoon, it actually is a lot better. Highlights from today, of course, really enjoyed We Dance on Movies, the show that I saw. That was phenomenal. Really nice use of technology in there. And of course, trying out the new ride as well. Sesame Street Street Mission has been really good. Very impressed with that. I keep feeling like I say it wrong because of the street being next to each other, but I'm definitely saying it right. Yeah, that's my only fault with that ride, actually. I was thinking about it walking down. It's just the name, you know. I just wouldn't have chose that name if it was my decision. But there you go. You know, I'm sure the park knows what it's doing, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that also quite like the name. You know, it's just me personally, I would have gone for something different. But yeah, overall, it's been a good day. I've enjoyed it. It's been a bit busier than I was expecting. I'm not too sure if it's holidays or something around here, but there's certainly been quite a lot of people inside the park. But then I think, hang on a minute, it's probably not holidays because it's not been open till 8. And in holidays it normally opens a bit later, so I'm not too sure, maybe just an influx of people today, but luckily coasters did get running on the full capacity, or near full capacity anyway, you know, with 2 trains on things, which is good. And overall, it's been nice to just get back to the park. Got some great theming. I do feel like this park could be even better and even more enjoyable if they improve their operations. But yeah, overall, it's been really good fun. So yeah, I'm going to be coming back tomorrow for a day 2 vlog. Of course, there's still quite a lot what we've not shown in this video today. It's more been about the coasters, the new edition, and of course the big show. But there's so much to see tomorrow. We'll look at the merchandise, we'll go on some water rides and flat rides, along with a couple of coaster re-rides, but mainly focusing on some stuff what I've not done today. Go on the train as well, that's quite a nice ride here. here. And yeah, also watched the awesome PortAventura parade. I missed it tonight because it was on whilst I was in the queue for the dark ride, but I'm glad that I went to do that tonight. Something a bit different. I've seen the parades in the past and they're great, but I'm really wanting to try the dark ride today, and I'm glad that I did. But yeah, we'll end tomorrow's vlog. We're watching the parade all around here in Mediterranean. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Of course, give us a follow on social media. On Instagram, it's Theme Park Worldwide and Sean Sandbrook as well. There's 2 different Instagrams that I've got. Along with that, follow us on Twitter at Theme Park WW, and like our Facebook page. Just search Theme Park Worldwide. I'll be back tomorrow for you, Shammy, don't worry, for some more re-rides, and that means it's time to cue those credits. Thanks for watching.